family and friends. We're here with our friends Grant and Norman. We're going to mostly talk about Lifewave, but this is a. I'm hearing some weird sounds, but you want to mute Norman when you're not speaking? Can you
Yes,
mute?
it's Grant.
It's not me.
It's
It's
not you,
Grant.
I'm
Grant?
totally quiet over here. There's nothing here. I'm by myself.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we're going to do a broadcast. This is the lifestyle section of our broadcast. Is that for me?
I
Could
don't
be
know.
us from us. I don't think so. Anyway, okay. So
It's
yes, I think it's Grant. Grant, are you?
Grant. Let's try.
Can you
Try
mute
it.
when you're not speaking?
See what happens.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're here on the Lifestyle Channel. We're going to talk about mostly about life waves. We want to talk about the glutathione patch today. Pop in to support the channel with a like. Thanks, Wade. Always good to hear from you. But we're going to just kind of keep it loose. I just want to mention, though, just for everyone's information, that last week we did this same broadcast and we were censored on YouTube. I don't know what the problem is, but I think YouTube still has this thing about medical misinformation, and they're very sensitive. I guess the white hats are not in complete control of the algorithm, but it was I was a little disappointed to find that this seems like a pretty harmless. I mean, we're certainly not talking about anything revolutionary. We're just talking about health, and that YouTube and the algorithm, the bizarro world of YouTube, could find that annoying, is or really, that we were putting out information that was worthy of censorship is. It's hard to understand, but there are a lot of things I don't understand in this world. But both Grant, actually, the three of us, with the exclusion of myself, are really fascinated by the glutathione phenomenon, and this is a very big word and very big issue in the health community right now. So there is a patch. Do we have a?
Use a disclaimer first.
Use I am not right. Wade, this is I am not a doctor. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not,
Our opinions.
this is our opinion,
Yeah.
okay? So it is our opinion that glutathione, which there's a patch.
Norman can't hear you.
Norm, you can't hear? I don't know if you can hear or not. But anyway, let me just show the glutathione patch. It'll probably be backwards.
This one here.
Okay. The glutathione
Yeah, there we
patch,
go.
is it
I
backwards?
think you
No.
could flip your screen so it reads. Yeah, it reads right.
It reads
Yeah,
right.
it reads
Okay,
right,
so
yeah.
this is a patch just like this patch from Lifewave. Dr. Stacy said there's clinical evidence that it increases your glutathione level 300%. This is an issue, a topic of some discussion, but it's important to know this is considered the master antioxidant. So if you are doing a kind of this is just my understanding. Norm really understands this on a much deeper level, and I think Daniela as well. And also Grant has had an experience with the glutathione patch. So let's start with Grant. You want to share how you had this experience with glutathione patch?
Sure. I've been using the glutathione patch now for I think 3 weeks, and because that's when I started with Lifewave, and I didn't really recognize it at first, other than I felt like I wasn't, as foggy. So it was definitely addressing, in my opinion, the inflammation. What really got my attention was this last week. I'm getting long in the tooth, like I think the rest of us, but um, some of the problems that I've had is some male issues with an enlarged prostate. And so, getting up at the middle of the night 3 or 4 times a night, it gets real old real fast. And so I've been piking down those all those supplements with the all the stuff, the
Saw palmetto.
yeah, the salt palmetto and the prostate formulas, and I tried every one of them on the market, and I could maintain it to the point where it wasn't too terrible, but I was taking double the dose of what they recommended on it, and I was like, God, I just don't want to be shoving all this stuff in my throat. And so I noticed something miraculous this past week. For one, I'm only getting up one time at night, usually about 6:30 in the morning. So that's after a whole night's sleep, which that's pretty normal for a man.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that getting up.
The other type. What happened to me? I lost myself. Okay, there I am. Okay, but in any case, back to what I was saying, I noticed not only that the frequency had reduced, but also the stream had improved to where I'm not standing there for 5 minutes trying to pass, urine, and now it just rips right through like I was 23 again. I'm just like, wow. And to me, that's big news for me, because I don't know if either one of you guys have had a situation where you got to stand there for a few minutes before you can get the river flowing, but that's been a real problem for me for the last 5 to 7 years, and now I'm not taking any supplements anymore. Completely went off the supplements. I use the glutathione patch on my right calf, or I'll put it down on my ankle sometimes, or on my midpoint on my back. Just depends, because you're supposed to move them around, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But to me, that's amazing. Just the cost of the supplement was more than 3 months worth of glutathione patch. And I'm not putting any chemicals in my body. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's amazing that you are that you have found that out on your own, but it's not like that unusual. I'm going to turn something around and put it on the screen. Tell me if you can see it.
Oh no, it's too small. I got this little tiny square.
It's a page. It's a page from a book. It's a page from a book that has a whole chapter in men and prostatic hypertrophy, which is a term for enlarged prostate gland. And there are studies that show that when they looked at the prostate, that there was a low level of the glutathione and the enzyme that is produced as a result, actually in the prostate. Right. So I think you're on the right track, and I think that I just think it's amazing that you have the result. But I'm saying that it's backed up by scientific studies and research.
Well, interestingly enough, Norman, I've been taking the NAC and the glutathione supplements along with the prostate supplements. It didn't really. I mean, it would keep it to where I could breathe. That's about it. But as far as being comfortable, well, I tell you, I'm totally comfortable now. I'm not having any issues in that department.
What do you mean you were taking the glutathione and NAC?
I was supplements, the glutathione supplements, the capsules. Like they come in a bottle. It
was supposed to be glutathione.
Yes, and I got it from a good source. No, it doesn't at all. And the NAC is supposed to encourage it. I don't know that I got a much difference either.
I know, but you got to be careful with NAC. It can become toxic if it's taken in high doses for a long period of time. It's toxic. They use NAC in the hospital, in the emergency rooms. They use NAC when you have an overdose of what is it? Tylenol, acetaminophen. One of those things if you take too much, you wind up in an emergency room with digestion or whatever the issue is, and they give you NAC. But long-term NAC use is problematic, I think.
Right. I used it.
I don't know why I'm frozen, but
I would use it for like 2 weeks and then I'd go off of it because I don't like taking anything consistently. I think that's kind of a bad idea. That's why I like the Lifewave so much better. So I don't feel like I'm poisoning myself.
Yeah.
I put a patch on it. Worst case scenario, if I leave it on too long, I get a little bit of an itch. Because sometimes I just forget to take it off. And I know that's probably not good, but
like me last night, I left the SP6 on, and then I was like, well, now I can't put it on the next day. I just sleep right through it. Nothing phases me through the patches.
Yeah, I often my Rosemary, she likes to stay up late. She's a little bit of a night owl, so sometimes we're just sitting there talking or whatever, and I just forget it, and I'll fall asleep, and I forget to take my patches off.
Yeah, I find I have a more extreme effect that if I leave a daytime patch on, I wake up in the middle of the night like.
Oh, really? Well, maybe I haven't been using them long enough for that to affect me that way.
The X39, for sure, and X49 as well. But you had Daniela, you had some experience with the glutathione. See, she's unusual because she has a sort of sensitivity to outside influences more than most people, and she really feels the patches.
Yeah, the glutathione I put on today because I decided to put it on right on the spot where my liver is because I notice when I put it there, I tend to feel it more at other areas than on top of my feet. Because when I started the glutathione, like I don't know, like a few weeks or a month ago, I started to feel something at the back of my throat. It felt like I don't know, like hair moving in my throat, but I think it was parasites. I'm not really sure.
Could be the glutathione. The parasites don't like it.
Right.
There's a lot of I think a lot of these, like the SP6. I don't think the parasites like the SP6 either. I noticed that right around the first part of the month when you get the full moon. That's when I notice the parasites most, and that's I concentrate on hitting them as hard as I can that time of the month. But I'm doing it every month. I do a light cleanse every month just to keep myself clean.
Yeah, I try to eat a little raw garlic every day.
I bet you like that, don't you, Daniel?
Yeah, the raw garlic that's it's more powerful when it's from a farm because it burns way more than the grocery store ones. We've noticed.
Oh, if you can grow natural garlic, that's the very best.
Yeah, it is.
We grew some last year. It's not terribly hard to grow, but yeah, it is a little bit.
It's way more powerful.
Out here. It's a little, so dry that it's you have to really give it a lot. Everything has to be watered out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're living in the desert, buddy. So, I'm in Florida. It rains all the time here, and I never have to water.
And it's muggy. It's muggier there. Yeah, we don't have any humidity.
I'm still not used to it. But I was born and raised in California, and in Temecula, where I was living the last 15 years. It's so dry. It's very much like Arizona or Nevada, very dry, warm weather, dry. No, almost no humidity. Unless you go towards the coast, you get a little more humidity, but it's pretty dry there. So no, I like the dry.
Me too.
Yeah, we moved here specifically for that. No, Norman, we can't see you,
but I think you can hear us. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know why. I logged in. I mean, I used Microsoft Edge. I think Grant recommended not using Brave.
I use
and my
Safari, so I don't know.
My camera's hook connected, but every time I go to try to, so obviously you can't see me. So now when I've tried to reconnect, it won't do it. So I don't know.
Do you have more than one of the little icon circles at the bottom? Try navigating away from the NZ and to like a picture, and see if that brings your camera back up. Because that's what I did last time. I couldn't figure out why my picture disappeared, and that's what I had done. As I had pushed the icon with just the 2 letters in it, which was RP or GP or whatever it was, and I couldn't figure out why in the heck did I not have a picture. And this time I was messing around with it, and I noticed if I changed to just the 2 letters, the 2 capital letters in the circle, that I had no camera. But if I changed over to my icon picture and the picture of my face, then all of a sudden the camera worked. I don't know. That's just been. I'm new to the. I'm new to this live stream, so.
I'm switching between 2 cameras. Let me see what happens if I do this. I'm going to try something different.
Try going from your front view to your back view, and then back to your front view again, and see if that corrects it.
There we go.
But yes, as far as the glutathione, I'm really impressed with that product. I think more than any of them, I've seen the best results. And of course, because of my diabetic condition, I think that's one of the most important things is to reduce the inflammation. And to me, that's I feel better. I don't. None of you probably had diabetes, but when you have diabetes, you kind of get a fog in your head, and even though you can see, but your vision is kind of weird. It's hard. Your eyes feel strange, and I notice when I'm getting that glutathione that my eyes feel better. I don't have the brain fog as bad, and so I think it's all improving.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
amazing.
Norman, I know we can't see you, but Norman has studied the glutathione phenomenon quite a bit. Norman, you want to share a little bit of your information about glutathione?
Well, I mean, I think that glutathione, a lot of people never heard of it. It's kind of strange because there isn't anything that in our body and in our cellular structure that doesn't require glutathione. Glutathione is a tripeptide, meaning that it's a protein made up of 3 amino acids. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's made up of glycine, glutamate or glutamic acid, and cysteine. And the problem with GSH, or that's an abbreviation for glutathione, is that it's easily destroyed in the digestive tract. So unlike laboratory animals, the human gut has unusually high levels of an enzyme, and it attacks the GSH molecule. So it's a bit of a challenge, and of course, as you get older, that dynamic becomes even more pronounced, right? So one of the great myths of glutathione is that taking it orally it hasn't really worked in human beings. And like, in other words, if you go on the internet now, or you go to some of these sites, they've got glutathione bottled, or they've got glutathione capsule, or they got glutathione in one way or the other, and it's supposed to it's supposed to raise the level when you take it orally, but it doesn't work for a long period of time. And I don't know that anybody's taking glutathione supplements and then running out and getting a blood test. So every cell in the human body manufactures glutathione that it needs within the cell. And like I said, it's assembled using these three building blocks or precursors: cysteine, glycine, and glutamate. So two of them.
Is that L-cysteine? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, let me continue, and you'll know the. Yeah. So two of them, glycine and glutamate, are pretty much readily available in our diets, particularly in North America. But the third building block, cysteine, especially in its like biologically active form, is much harder to come by. So that's really sort of the crux of the matter, is that how do you use cysteine? Remember, NAC, which is what you mentioned before, N-acetyl cysteine is what you were referring to before, Grant. But once again, is that the right form? Is that the most biologically active form? So, but cysteine is responsible for the entire molecule and how it acts, so to speak. So we know that, as I said a minute ago, it faces sort of a kind of like a difficult journey from the mouth to the cell, right? Which is, by the way, one of the interesting things about patches, because patches are not using the same mechanism. The only question really is and the reason I say it's a question is because none of the four of us have been using glutathione patches for a long period of time. I think that if anything, that is the challenge, because we want to see what it's going to look like in 60 days and 90 days and 3 months and a year and so on and so forth. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't people that haven't been patching for a long period of time. They are, but I mean patching specifically glutathione. So anyhow, that's kind of a basic understanding of what it does. I mean, what it is. There are a number of substances that are supposed, or that they say can raise your glutathione. First of all, glutathione can come in various forms, including patches, but inhaled, nasal, sublingual, intravenous. People get injections, liposomal. Another substance that's supposed to raise glutathione is NAC. We talked about that. L-cysteine, which is something different than NAC, slightly different, is another one. Lipoic acid, milk thistle, which is good for the liver. Well, actually, they're all arguably good for the liver. And sulforaphane, which comes from broccoli sprouts. These are and whey protein. These are sort of from all the studies. These are the things that have been tested and have some degree of success raising glutathione. Some more so than the other, some more sustained than the other, some with less side effects than the other, and so on and so forth. So, but that's the sort of the gamut of the kinds of things that raise, are supposed to raise glutathione. There's also some cofactors that are kind of interesting. We could talk about those later, or maybe at another time when we're talking specifically about, raising glutathione through other methods. But well, you okay? Well, I have a dog in the lap, so he just I know what that was. You want to get down?
I got two though.
Yeah, two in your lap, or you just
two in my lap?
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, so I mean, I don't know, Ellie, does that make sense? Is that a fairly good introduction?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I really never heard of glutathione until Dr. Stacy. You had heard of it? Yeah.
Because I thought glutathione's not in red meat. What's?
So
I heard.
so it's not a question so much of taking glutathione or eating glutathione to raise your glutathione. It's something that's there when we're born. It's something that's there in the body being producing it as we, as young people, as children, as young people. And then as time goes on, it starts to diminish. And what we've discovered, I say recently, and probably a couple of decades, is that takes place. Now the question is, how do you reverse it? And that's we've been talking about eyesight. We've been talking about other things last week. The bladder. The prostate. Interestingly enough, and I don't mean to. I don't know, Grant, when you started to lose some of your hair, but at what age? But there's a connection in men between prostate and glutathione and the enzyme and hair loss. So it's really kind of interesting. And I don't know if I'm correct or incorrect, but it sounds like Ellie maybe has been either growing some hair or getting a darker color hair or whatever. So, the hair, and that's one of the reasons why they test the hair, right? Hair follicle tests. A lot of times doctors will recommend testing your hair as opposed to, or in addition to testing your blood. So, yeah, no, but I hear what you're saying is a lot of people never heard of glutathione.
Interesting.
But there's tons of things that we've never heard of that, and why haven't we never heard of them?
Yeah.
Who's been holding back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the reason why we haven't heard of them is because they don't want us to know about it, because they want to send us through the pharmaceutical industrial complex. That's the petroleum pharmaceutical.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if I don't know if I said this last time or I said it privately to Ellie and to Daniela, but back in November, when I started on this glutathione journey, I went to my functional medicine lady here where I live, great doctor, PhD in addition. And I said, "Can you test my glutathione level?" And she's like, "What?" I said, "Can you test?" I said, "You're going to do some other tests, but can you also put on the paper to test my glutathione level?" Well, she's like, "Well, that's got to go to a separate lab," but I never even really had anybody ever ask me that. That just, to me, that just said that, like what you just said, Grant, whether they don't want to, and I'm not saying that this particular physician is in that camp, because she's not. We could talk about doctors all day long, but what I'm saying is that she was surprised that a person walking into her office would ask her to do that.
I think it's less that they don't want to do it. I think they just don't know, because the doctors aren't trained in nutrition.
By the way, the results that came back from the other stuff that she tested, came back within days. It took weeks to get the glutathione results.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the case where, I'm not a medical professional, but there could be a case where people that are self-educated, that are really following the latest developments in health and stuff, maybe perhaps know like a different set. I don't want to blow our channel off the YouTube thing, but it could be that we know we have different. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without, but that we know stuff that the regular folks don't know about, and that this is really part of this great awakening in that we are empowering ourselves. We're finding out that we are the best person to do the research and find out about these things, and we can't always rely on experts to help us. But I think the Lifewave patch in that respect is pretty remarkable because it uses your own light as opposed to like popping pills or eating something.
Yeah, even the big influencers on like Instagram or the social media, like the Paul Saladino or the carnivore people, they don't. I I have I haven't heard them talk about glutathione or anything like that. So it's pretty interesting.
I don't think anybody talks about glutathione. I mean, all the research I did, I'm kind of like Norman, maybe not as I'm obviously not as advanced as he is, but
Mhm.
I've done tons and tons and tons of research on all the different um, supplements you can do to improve your health and what's the best way to get them into your body. And honestly, so far, in my opinion, of what the LifeWave does is for one, I like the fact that I'm not putting anything in my body except for my own light. Two, the cost is comparative. So why do I want to be gobbling down fistfuls of supplements when I can just stick a patch? And three, I think the technology and the synergy of that technology that works with your body is so much better than trying to take a fistful of supplements. Just like Norm was saying that and I didn't even know this, so this was a good education for me, that no matter how much glutathione pills you take, you're probably not getting anything.
Yeah,
Just a waste of money. You're just choking down a bunch of cellulose capsules full of junk.
Maybe maybe next time we could talk about some of those cofactors that I was talking about, some of those other substances. But
Yes.
I wanted to just say that if you're patching with glutathione, um, the glutathione patch from Lifewave, I would, and I'm doing the same thing. Uh, I would try to get as much sulforaphane as I could. As I said
Well,
before,
now what's sulforaphane? Where do
sulforaphane. So
is it a
sulforaphane.
supplement?
No. It comes from it's broccoli sprouts.
Oh, okay.
Now, I mean, you can get it in a supplement form, but why would you do that when you can just eat it, right?
You can get it
Now,
naturally instead of some.
yeah. So I'm talking about a sprout. I'm not talking about. I mean, my wife tends to like broccoli, so we I make sure we get some, but I'm talking about the sprouted seed, the sprouted
Right, you
broccoli
take the
seed.
seed just like you're going to sprout wheatgrass or any of the other kind of sprouts,
Yeah,
bean sprouts, whatever.
And if you want some more information, when I get your email address, one of the great interviews on this subject was Joe Rogan interviewing Rhonda Patrick, who's an
Okay.
amazing young lady, researcher, practitioner. And she talks a lot about it. And she references a study that took place at Johns Hopkins University on sulforaphane and cancer.
Okay.
And the glutathione world already knew about it. Meaning, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about the world of necessarily specifically curing cancer. I'm talking about just generally. So, but anyhow, that's a great interview. And then there's a couple others, that specifically talk about sulforaphane. So
Well,
what I do is we keep broccoli sprouts around. I give them to the dog. We eat them. Um, we have a powder that has broccoli sprout extract in it. We add it to a beverage, and so what I'm saying is it enhances the capabilities of whatever you're doing to try to increase glutathione.
That's great. That's great info. I'm absorbing this like a sponge.
yeah, Norman. I mean, Norman too. Again, I'm not a doctor, and Norman's not a doctor, but Danielle and I refer to him as Dr. Norman because he has assimilated so much information, and he really knows all these things. The real thing, and I don't want to start another discussion, but I do want to say that next week we're going to be introducing, possibly the next couple of weeks, we're going to be introducing another product that could help with your glutathione levels, just specifically. But I don't want to get into that now. But what I want to comment on a thing that Norman mentioned in a conversation this morning about how Western medicine does not acknowledge a kind of the connection between the spiritual and the physical. So this is an area that perhaps I'm not a doctor, but perhaps in medical school they'll pay more attention to this. I don't think in Western science there's any understanding of what a soul really is, or what exactly enlivens a body. There's a kind of a disconnect, like with everything else in our world, that everything has been separated into parts, so you can't kind of look. So when you see the big picture, you're like, wow, that makes sense. But everything has been so individualized, but intentionally, so that having a broader understanding of the connection between spirituality and your cognitive fog. You were talking about brain fog. Like, you wouldn't think that eating, like for me yesterday, I experienced, I kind of defied Daniela, and I ate some bread, and that had sugar in it, and it was like, don't eat that, and I'm like, I'm gonna eat it. I'm sorry, I'm just that way, and I went into a brain fog. I just was like, wow, man, this stuff really is not so good. So we don't eat a lot of bread and sugar.
I only believe sourdough that doesn't have any sugar in it, because you want to keep eating it, and then you feel so like bloated or
I have a friend who's I mean, and he's a friend of Ellie's too, is a rabbi and mutual friend, and he claims that he doesn't do well when he eats gluten. I mean, when he eats wheat, he doesn't do well. But it's very important for him every weekend to have a loaf of bread in the house. So his wife learned how to make sourdough einkorn bread.
Oh yeah, that's the bread that I really want, the einkorn flour, which is hard to find.
Is that what we had in Phoenix?
No, that's ancient something.
So it's sourdough, which, like as Daniela said, has benefits in and of itself, but also it's einkorn, and einkorn comes from Italy. And the thing about Italy, and the thing about Europe, as crazy as Europe is for other reasons, they don't have all the contaminants that we have. They don't have all the toxins that we have.
Issues.
They haven't messed around. Yeah, I mean, like I can't really eat pasta made in the United States, but I could have pasta made in Italy.
Yeah,
we have the same issues. Yeah, because of was it glycophosphates?
It could be glyphosate. It could also be from the hybridization of wheat to enhance the protein content. Who knows what they did? I don't know what that is. Well, like every time you turn over a baked good in the United States, it always says enriched flour.
Yeah,
it's not.
Trust that.
Yeah, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah,
what's it enriched with?
Enriched, yes. Well, I think this is all really interesting things. I encourage everyone to um,
Lifewave. Yeah.
to try the Lifewave patches. We invite you to try them. We invite you, if you liked, if you'd rather speak to Grant or Norman or Daniela, or I'm putting all these different contact informations up, because people, you might just have a better, and also in terms of developing businesses, you might be more, like I personally, I don't have a lot of time to really work on the business aspect
Yeah,
of, but
and
she
then
does.
I've been making well, on our new Instagram channel, decided to create it as a health and wellness channel that talks about Lifeway but other things also. So I've been making short videos every day explaining my testimonials and explaining the patches as well.
Yeah, and I also want to speak, and this is something that Norman's really sensitive to, and Norman has a kind of a compassion and an understanding, and really has the ears to understand Daniela's situation. But Daniela has been completely transformed in terms of she was just almost afraid to speak. I mean, in the beginning of the relationship, we really used mostly telepathy to communicate, because Daniela wasn't comfortable speaking. But after taking, she feels
Well,
that.
the X39 at first, and then like recently with glutathione, I think that really helped me come out of my shell.
Right. So that's a connection that's kind of like foggy in Western situations, but she feels that the X39 and the glutathione has helped her get over her fear of speaking, and this is not nothing. It's a major issue for us, and so I think these patches are, work in multiple levels, and I encourage everyone to reach out, and if you're interested in starting a business, contact one of us, and we will get together. I think it's an amazing technology, and there are no side effects. It doesn't put anything in your body. It just reflects your own light. But we're going to be speaking more during the next coming up weeks about glutathione. We have, like I said, we have another product possibly to introduce, but yeah, I just want to say what a delight it is to have this kind of a discussion publicly. And Grant, I salute you for your
Yeah.
curiosity and your bravery, and really moving forward. And we're all just, I mean, I don't want to like hog this thing, but do you guys have any words that you want to just add before we adjourn till next time?
Well, the only thing that I would like to add is just that I believe this LifeWave technology is a game changer.
Life changer.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional or anything like that, but I tell you, much like Norm, I'm researching stuff all the time.
Me
Not
too.
not
Yeah.
just medical, but I was researching silver the other day. But I'm
You
always
got me in a lot of
looking.
trouble, by the
Yeah.
way.
I
I mean, more
heard, I
people
heard.
curse me off.
But then Ellie
But
got
you
like
know what? I
over
gave you more
100,000.
information to go with that, because I told you I wanted to do a little more research, and I have.
It's
I sent
very
you some of it.
interesting. I mean, well, maybe we'll talk about this some other time on a different platform. But the thought that silver could be replaced by an industrial product is a very interesting thought by itself. But I don't want to get into that now. But you're just saying that for you, and you have medical issues, and it's certainly going to the bathroom at night for older dudes like me. I also have cut down in the number of times I get up during the night, and for us, getting up in the middle of the night means running out into the cold
Yeah.
I
desert
can
air.
only
So
imagine. Well,
it's hard.
I mean,
It's hard to go back to sleep after you've been, scorched by the cold
yeah.
in the
Well, and
desert.
you're wearing your socks at night.
Well, plus it's for me, it's really critical too that I'm not waking up 3 or 4 times a night,
It's
because
huge.
Yeah,
It's
too.
huge.
being diabetic,
Hey, Grant.
your
Grant,
sleep is so important.
Grant, do you drink? Grant, do you drink at night though? Anything? Any beverages?
Or just water.
That's
I mean, up till the point you go to sleep.
Well, I'm always drinking because my medicines that I take the pharmaceuticals I take require that I drink a lot of water, especially the Jardiance, to keep the sugar flushing out. And until I can get a handle on that, I'll probably have to continue to do that. I'm hoping that.
So when I wake up, in the middle of the night and I have to go pee, it's 99 out of 100 times it's because I drank tea at night.
Oh yeah, I don't drink tea or coffee or anything. The only thing I drink that's hot is in the morning.
No, I mean, I'm talking about like a chamomile tea or an herb tea or something like that. Nothing with
just water.
But if I stop eating and drinking at around 6 o'clock at night, then I'm fine.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. But I know that I have to keep hydrated, and plus that and I don't know if you've read up on it or not, Norman, but you probably have. But a lot of the patches, I believe the glutathione and the SP6 both suggest that you hydrate well. And in fact, I think
everybody, whatever protocol you're talking about is going to suggest. But I did this course. I took this course on water fasting and drinking a certain amount of water, but within a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And that period of time. Yeah. So once the cell's hydrated, you don't have to keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
But there's something else.
Your cells do become saturated with water, and so that's why you dispel it. But I think that,
the other thing is a pinch of Redmond salt or Himalayan salt in the water helps you retain the water, and as opposed, like if you drink a lot of water and it's not mineralized or it's distilled or something like that, you're going to be peeing all the time. But if you're drinking water that's mineral rich, it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, that's one thing that I do. I use Celtic salt and Himalayan salt, and I every morning I will take a little pinch of baking soda in my first glass of water, and then the next time I drink, I put a pinch of the Red Sea salt or the Himalayan salt, because that turns your body alkaline, which is what you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Good for you.
Hey, listen. One thing I just in closing, one thing I wanted to say was that I was doing some research because I've been very much concerned about the lymphatic system.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can eat well, you can take supplements, you can do all these other things, but if your lymphatic system's not working to help you flush out, the toxin buildup, or the hormonal imbalances, or the, whatever it is that might be increasing inflammation in the body, if your lymphatic system's not getting rid of it, then it's not going to be as holistically helpful. So I sent Ellie and Danielle a video about how to encourage lymphatic drainage. But what I discovered in doing the research is that there are certain points along various meridians that's good to patch for lymphatic drainage. And I was like blown away. And it's actually Lifewave people teaching how to do this. So I was going to either talk about that next time or put it in a message to you guys, because it's not just the liver, it's the spleen. It's points along the spleen meridian and other meridians that when you patch on those points, those acupressure points, it encourages lymphatic drainage.
I think that would be good information. I'd like to know that as well. Just as part of my research, I know that, from what I understand, the SP6 helps with your lymphatic.
It does.
I think it was the SP6.
SP6, yeah.
It was the Instagram on there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, they they're they're calling it SP6 obviously for a reason. Because if I'm not mistaken, SP6 is also one of the spleen points,
Oh,
but also LV3, also LV3, the liver points. But there's a good amount of information about that.
I'd be interested in finding more information on pancreatic cleanse.
Yeah, can you send me his email address, Ellie?
Sure. No problem.
Yeah, anything to do with diabetic support, I'm very interested in. I'm really trying to lasso that rascal and get rid of it.
Actually, the link I sent you was sent to both of you, so you already have
Yeah.
the email
Yeah.
addresses.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's close it up. I mean, I think this is a fascinating discussion, and I think it's so important because people aren't necessarily getting this information in other places. And it's really cutting edge, and I think we're coming into a new world where we really have to empower ourselves to figure out what's right and wrong for us. We can't rely on, I'm not a doctor, but we can't rely on experts anymore, because the experts also do research and they have certain agendas, and it may not coincide with our own personal needs or directions. So anyway, thank you so much, Grant, and thank you so much,
Thank you,
Norman. And
Grant.
Thank you.
I look forward to speaking with you guys next week. And thanks everyone for coming. And there was somebody who said that they've been following this channel since the old days, and welcome back. And yeah, man, we're still up and running. The reason I scheduled this for a different time. This is usually at
Oh,
6
six
Six.
o'clock. 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, is because in the Republic, the white hat military, some of the people from the military want to have a discussion with me at our regular time about how to survive on the internet, because they had their channels completely eradicated, and I've managed to, even though I don't make money, I managed to stay live through thick and thin. So it's very exciting for me to talk to the white hats about possible a way to further the republic, which is I think very important. Anyway, I don't want to bleed from one subject to the other, but we'll talk later tonight. And Grant, thanks for everything. Norman,
Thanks
thanks
so
for
much, Grant.
Dr. Norman. I mean,
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
I'm talking to you guys.
and thanks, Daniela, and we'll see you guys next week, the regular time, 6 o'clock Eastern
Yeah.
Standard Time.
Perfect.
Thanks.
We had
Sounds good.
to do another channel where we just talk about our little key favorites. Like we had to maybe consider doing a Republics channel, because I think that would be helpful, because like me, I can't get anybody in Florida to respond. It's like, no, and you go on the website, the republic.org Florida, there's nothing, there's nobody. I mean, you can't even contact anybody.
Right, because the Black Hats did a really decimated all their communications. So that's what we're going to be talking about this afternoon, and I'll let you know what I found out, Grant. I'll probably
If you can find out if they can contact me and get me in the loop, because I'm eager to do it. I've been chomping at the bit for like 3 months ever since
Cool.
I found out about it.
Cool. We went back to the website. Let me put that on while we're talking about it. But we went back to that website, and I had to press different buttons in order to volunteer. So maybe
not different buttons. At the top right hand corner, there's the three.
I went to every link I could.
Okay, at the top right hand corner, Daniela said there's
at the bottom I would say,
there are 3 lines. See, go back to that website.
I've been there, done all of them.
Really?
None of it. Okay.
And anywhere I can leave a message, I leave a message, but I still haven't heard from anybody.
Okay, well, there are people from the Republic that are probably listening to this broadcast, and I'm thinking of Nancy. She's the governor of Georgia, but
for Georgia.
For Georgia,
is there a governor for Florida yet?
I would think so, but they said there are 8 states that are having difficulties. I don't know if Florida's in. I'll find all
Yeah,
that out.
we'll
I'll be
find it
talking
out,
about it
yeah.
tonight on the live broadcast
Yeah,
tonight.
I would really appreciate it, Ellie, because I'm like you. I'm so
We want to do
interested.
something,
Yeah,
right? We want to
Yeah.
do some action. Yeah, I'm with you,
Yeah.
man. I totally identify. I mean, we want, we've been talking about it. We
He
spend
could
all
join.
our days thinking about freedom and the great awakening, and we want to do something. So this
He
is
could join the Zoom meetings too.
yeah. Well,
Because it's not just one
could
state for some of them.
he could join the thing tonight.
Uh,
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah, I'll
not
get
sure,
back to you
but
on
we
that,
could,
Grant. We'll find
we
out.
could-
'Cause
I would
I'm
love
new
it.
to the Republic, but it seems like
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more involved, and I'm just delighted that we have a way to listen. The old government is not coming. Anyway, I don't want to go out in this channel, but
Right.
the
Yeah.
old government. I'll talk about it tonight.
Like
Anyway,
I said, we should maybe do another podcast.
right, another.
All
We
right.
might. Okay.
Another channel.
Love to you both,
Love
and
to
thank
you
you so
guys.
much. And we'll be back next week, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. You
Thanks
too,
for
Ellie. You too,
informing.
Daniela.
God
and-
bless.
You too.
All right.
God
Thanks,
bless.
guys.
God
Thank you very
bless
much.